Alright, so I don't have the mic on, so I'm going to see if I can talk a little bit loud over the car. But this is Post-Dyno, and so far we have replaced the fuel pressure regulator. This is an AEM one, but it's questionable because I believe that might be like a replica one because of the box and stuff like that. So far, the only issue I'm having is it's been 3 times so far that I set it at the PSI while I was idling, and it kind of like jumps. It either jumps by 1 or 2, so hopefully I have it dialed in now. I'm not sure if maybe having air inside of it once I opened up the system might have caused it, but we have it where it's supposed to be right now, and it's the 3rd time that it jumps. So if it does it again, then it might be something weird with the diaphragm. I have no idea. I'll probably contact the seller and let them know. But other than that, that's where it's at right now. Hopefully once I drive it, it won't do anything. Second thing that I noticed, my retaining clip on my I guess on the shifting cable popped out. So luckily we made it in time, and I didn't have no issues shifting. Another thing is my IAT keeps coming out, so I did like a double method kind of seal, so hopefully it'll stick and it'll read good. But other than that, you know, crossing our fingers, praying that everything else works out fine. The temperature worked out beautifully, you know, everything else handled amazing. So those are just a little hiccups that I had that I found along the way. I still have yet to download the tune on the computer and double check some things with the what he did. But other than that, that's a quick update Post-Dyno that we are embarking right now. And then a quick update on the EG. I rearranged some ground, so now it starts out beautifully, no hesitation like I did before or delays. The only issue is now it keeps blowing my radiator fan, so I have to see why it's doing that. Last time it did that, it was the wiring. So but I'm not in the mood to diagnose this, but I think it should be fairly easy. It's just pretty much like I'll just do my troubleshooting procedure because I have the fan kicking on with the ECU. So but yeah, I forget. I'm sorry for the glare. The sun's popping out. It's super early, not too early, about 9ish, 8ish or so. But yeah, we're about to drive the car again after Post-Dyno because it was sitting for like about a week after I got back because of the pressure regulator. Pretty sure I ended up fixing the other one. I'm not sure. It was a seal. I opened it up. The diaphragm looked beautiful. Everything looked good inside. So hopefully it was just a seal on the top. I replaced it and I just put it in my bin as a spare. So hopefully this one lives up to their reputation, even though I believe it's an aftermarket one. But if it keeps doing that, I'll probably just contact the seller and let them know that something's faulty inside. So yeah, I apologize for the camera angle, but this is the best I can do. If anything, I'll probably see maybe moving around, but we are driving the Integra and it's driving beautifully. Now the fuel pressure regulator could be questionable. I'm still testing it, still seeing what the heck is going on with it, because it keeps jumping my PSI. So I'll set it to a certain PSI and, you know, I'll turn it off, turn it back on, and it'll jump like a little bit. So I'm not too sure what's going on. I messaged the seller, so hopefully it fixes itself. But I mean, it's driving beautifully. It feels good. AFRs look pretty decent. They look like where they were at before the previous fuel pressure regulator failed. So far it's doing what it's supposed to. I think he said VTEC engages at 45, so it kicks in super early. And you can feel it. You can feel the pull. It's pretty tame for what it is. If I would have gotten a 6-speed, I would have definitely made a little bit more horsepower. Also, I was just thinking, my flywheel is a mule. It's super heavy and it's not light as heck. I do have 2 light ones, but I can't find a place to resurface them near me. So that's kind of like the fault right now. But other than that, the heavy flywheel is doing its little thing. You know, I thought about maybe going boost. I don't know. That's something that's going to take a long time because I was factoring it like roughly around, give or take, what, if it's name brand or what, about. So yeah, I'm thinking of going boost. So factoring those prices, it could be about $5 to $7, maybe more or less. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I want to give a huge shout out to all the subscribers that are subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you guys. I have tons of people see my videos from everywhere in the world, and I appreciate you guys for the support. I always try to share what I do, my builds, and what I know, my knowledge, with everybody out there that is in the same boat or is trying to learn when it comes to this platform. And I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support, and keep watching. All right, so as you guys saw in the intro, yeah, the car has been driving beautifully. JP did his thing, and it is tuned. I am happy with the outcome. You guys saw it sounds good. I didn't really step on it too crazy. The VTEC crossover is super nice. You know, having the 5-speed kind of sucks as a daily. I guess it's long gears, so it's like very much difference versus a 6-speed, that's for sure. But other than that, as a cruiser, it feels good. But this is Post-Dyno, and I've been having a lot of issues with my fuel pressure regulator, so let's talk about it. All right, so I want to say I'm 0 for 2 when it comes to my fuel pressure regulator. Obviously, it's my fault. So we have, and let's look at it a little bit closer. So I have myself right there. That is a super budget $40, 30 something dollars fuel pressure regulator kit. I've seen a lot of people run it with success. Now I don't know behind the scenes if they'd had any issues or anything that went on with it. This one failed completely. It started leaking from the actual top. I opened it up, I replaced the seal on the top, and still it is leaking. So I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it's a bust. It's you know, it's something's wrong with it. Other than that, it did beautifully. After the dyno, that's when it happened. And actually, when I got home, that's when I found it leaking, but it held through the whole way, so it didn't leave me stranded, so that was nice. And then I'm gonna put it up here because I put it back in the box. It's right here, but I don't feel like opening it up. So I went, that was my first mistake, to be honest, buying an AM from eBay. But that one was questionable, and I think that is a copycat. That is a false one. It's not the original one. Sorry, so it's not the original one. So I said, you know what, that one's not original, it's copy as well. Let me just throw it in there. It might work. It did not. It bounces. It's not giving me less pressure, but the pressure, once I set it, it keeps skipping and jumping. So that's the signs of a faulty fuel pressure regulator. So this one does not do does not do any of that, but it's leaking crazy. So yeah, I am 0 for 2 at this point. I think I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna go with what I know, and I'm gonna buy a name brand one. And as we speak, it smells like fuel in here because it was leaking, and I just closed the garage. But I think I'm gonna just go with a AUTOONE one. Never had any issues with them. It is a little bit more pricey, but you do have a peace of mind. So I guess, referring back to a budget setup, there's things that work and things that do not work, and I am going to talk a little bit about my setup as is holding up after trial and error, and obviously Post-Dyno, and that way guys give you an idea if you guys are interested in that, and kind of compare it to something that's not budget, and then that way you guys have a little bit more of an idea if you guys want to do it or not. I'll give you a rundown and explain a little bit about my situation, and then I'll give you my own conclusion of is it worth it or not, or semi, and then you guys can follow that if you want to, because a lot of these parts, it's trial and error. They're pretty much just budget stuff, and I'll give you my honest opinion on it. But yeah, the fuel pressure regulator is killing me, man. Like, it's killing me. The car literally dynoed, got back. It's set for a week or so. I got that pressure regulator, installed it, ran it yesterday. Now it's freaking silent again. So it's I've not been able to actually enjoy the car. So, but yeah, let's talk a little bit about it. All right, so my honest opinion. So far, driving the car with this setup, and I'm sorry for this wires, this is my trickle charger because the car sits here for a minute, same with the EG. But throttle body, let's start up with the radiator. Radiator's been holding pretty well. I have it paired up with a good fan. I didn't go with a cheap one. I have a small one. This is pretty much when I get my AC, and you see, Sorry, I wanted to flash for you guys, but you know, and I zoom out, it doesn't let me. So, but yeah, going back to the radiator, that's really my AC. When I go AC, we'll see how that one performs. But the radiator for $100 at the time, probably a little bit more, came with a Trout. It's doing pretty good. You know, it's dissipating the heat how it's supposed to. No complaints there whatsoever. Pretty much out of an RSX. You know, like charge harness, all of that, I made it myself. Grounds and stuff like that, I made it myself. So obviously no issues in there. It's just wiring. The mounts, you know, you could have your option to something better. These actually sit a little bit lower, so it gives you hood clearance, but I mean, you're still not going to have that with the adjustable ones. But these mounts sit low, so I guess you could probably do better, probably get something that has dual heights if they have them. But other than that, they're okay for the price. I only paid $120, so they're doing, you know, they're doing their thing. And it handles the vibration pretty well for it being budget, kind of like 62 mounts on those stiffness, but you know, it does pretty well. Throttle body, questionable. It's super questionable. When I got it, it was not even, the spring wasn't even tight. I had to clock it a whole bunch of times, got it to work. Obviously TPS plays a huge part. I don't have an actual name brand one. This is a Dorman one, which is like kind of like OEM equivalent, but not really. I did have a Blocks one that it was turned out to be horrible, which I have it on this one, and it did pretty well. But the most I got out of it when I was calibrating it was like 87. So it's not the greatest. I'm not saying it sticks, because I do have an air idle control valve, but it's questionable. I mean, it does its thing, and you know, right now the car is tuned with the settings on it. He said, you know, if I adjust it, it's not going to do anything. But the throttle body is questionable. It's not like my K-Tune one or a name brand one. Like, which by the way, this one doesn't stick, but it feels a way better response. Obviously, K-Tune was worth more than $160. This one about $60, 60 something bucks. So, but yeah, take it with a grain of salt. This is a 70mm. You could run a 72. It's up to you. They do not have quality control, but you know, it's doing its thing for what it is, and it's getting me by. So no complaints there. The intake, the cold air intake, it's just a universal one that I got from. Let me just move. Sorry, just the position of the car. It's just a regular one. You know, the filter is questionable. It could be clogging my, you know, restraining me from air. Who knows? And you know, it's just the way it is. It's, you know, it gives me room to have it in there, and it was super budget. Like, I got that in Amazon, but you know, it fit, and it gave me the I guess for the build, you know, and the amount. So obviously the hoses, you can't go wrong with them. They're just hoses, so no problems on there. The cable is super budget. It's like $13 from a GSR, and it's been doing really good. Who knows, maybe the cable's sticking or binding, but it's never given me an issue before. And the fuel push regulator, yeah, that was a buzz. I've seen people have success. I did not have success. It lasted me all the way into the dyno, got back, and it blew. So yeah, I mean, it still holds pressure, and it does this thing. It just leaks like a faucet. Like, it just leaks a lot. But yeah, other than that, it's doing pretty well. You know, I got K-Tune headers, budget headers, 3-inch God's Snow, or just eBay brand, with a 1320 performance 3-inch to 3.5 tip muffler, which sounds amazing. I'll do a review on that once this is up and running, because the car, I'm not doing it with the food press regulator like that, but I'll do a review on it for you guys if you guys are interested on how it sounds and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It does have a type S oil pump, RDXs, and these are aftermarket ones. These are not OEM. These are OEM, obviously, 300 plus probably or so in price, and then these were like 100 or something like that. But you know, they've been doing pretty good. The fuel rail, you know, is doing this thing, no leaks, and you know, it looks like a hybrid racing knockoff pretty much. This is obviously K-Tune, but yeah, honest opinion, I'll say do it, but it's questionable, and you're gonna have to put a little bit more elbow grease versus these ones. When you're buying, you know, name brand stuff, you don't have to put a lot of elbow grease, and it works pretty good straight off the package. It's really rarely that you buy something that's new and brand and is giving you a lot of problems. You know, throttle bodies, especially aftermarkets, are pretty notorious for sticking, binding, but you know, it's part of it. You know, this one was doing that at the beginning, but then I worked out the kinks, whatever, and it's doing pretty good. You know, it allows me to clock it pretty well. But also, this is a K-swap radiator, so you can see how far the upper inlet radiator hose is from the thermostat. This obviously is from an RSX paired up, so look how close I am. So that could be causing the issue why I can't really calibrate the TPS properly. But I mean, I guess in the future I could probably move the nozzle a little bit more or something like that, or who knows, I get it welded. But honest opinion, it's not bad. You know, it's economical, cheap, and I mean, it got me by. You know, even the fuel pump is questionable. It's like Hemzo, and it's giving the pressure, is doing what it's supposed to, and it's holding. We have an AEM on this one, obviously, no questions. But I'll say yes, do it. Just some stuff you can't really cheap out, or it's gonna fail on you. So we're still shucking along. Obviously, the clutch, a lot of people have been asking me the clutch. Kit is a Clutch Max. It was like under $200. It's a stage 1, I believe, or stage 2. So it's rated for the power that I am shooting for, which is perfect. Flywheel is a mule. It's freaking heavy. Competition clutch, obviously, at the time was like $500. Now it's worth like $700. It's a stage 3. No questions. Beautiful. And it's been holding. It's been doing its thing. And I'm super surprised. It's for that much, it's Clutch Max. It's definitely worth it. Now I don't know about beating it as competition, but for a daily, it's doing its thing. And I apologize, it smells like fuel super bad. I'm gonna get dizzy in here, but I'm gonna make this quick. I do say it is, if you're up to the challenge of annoying calibrating, putting a little bit more elbow grease, then do your budget setup. Save yourself a lot of money. If you do not, then see if you can get maybe deals and stuff. But obviously right off the bat, you're going to be in a way better position. You know, obviously you're paying for what you get for the most part, but other than that, it's doing its thing. It's you know, holding just questionable things that are failing on me, like the fuel pressure regulator. So if you guys try to buy this one, I know I seen a PQY or something, sorry I'm butchering it, but some people have success, so it's 50-50, you know, so you could have a, you know, hit and miss, but I unfortunately was a bust, and I'm 0 for 2 for fuel pressure regulator, so I'm super annoyed. So I'm just gonna get a good one, probably gonna get a K-Tune one and just call it a day. And I know it's not gonna give me issues, and it's gonna give me what I want. But overall, the budget feel it is, or semi budget, because you can go way more, but this is my version of budget. It's done. You know, it's now I'm gonna just put things and throw stuff in it that actually works, so it's reliable. But other than that, the car's handling beautifully, sounds good, and I'm super proud of it. So yeah, so you know, if you guys want to see maybe a comparison of this build, or I mean, by the way, this is a K24 K20Z3, then let me know down below. I can do that for you guys. Yeah guys, so appreciate you guys. I have a ton of new subscribers from around the world, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in and learning. You know, I try to share my builds and my parts with you guys, that way you guys know what to expect, and you know what you guys are getting yourself into. And you know, I always try to share my little bit of knowledge with you guys, and there's a lot of you guys out there watching that are super knowledgeable, way more than me, and always helping people out in the comment box. So appreciate you guys. I don't want to take too long. Catch you guys on the next video. Keep coming back for more K-Swap related content. See you.